Namaskaram, Master. Namaskaram, Master E.K. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatikakrutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe. Namaskarams to all. Today, the topic about the Engineers Day. Every year, this Engineers Day will be celebrated in India on September 15th. It is a great occasion to celebrate this day on behalf of the great tributes to the legendary engineer Moksha Visveswarayya, because his birthday was on 15th September. So about the Engineers Day, in this connection, we have to take what is an engineer. Every engineer will know what is an engineering. But engineering is not new to our India, because if you go into the epics, Ramayana, there is an engineer, great engineer in Leela, who has paved the road, bridge for from Rameswaram to Sri Lanka, in order to mobilize the Rama, Lakshmana, etc. and the Vanaras to fight against with the Ravana. Sorry. And another legendary engineer in Mahabharata, the Maya, who is usually called as Rakshasa, but he was a great engineer and also is a Shishya of Vishwakarma. He has built Maya Sabha in Mahabharata and was presented to Dharmaraja. So if we go on taking these examples, several examples will come. But one thing is, we have to know about the great scholar, engineer, the Moksha Visveswarayya, sir, is a respectable, respects were given by the British people. And a very good statesman and a dam builder and economist and nations builder. We can't forget him. If any education is not only the engineer, but every education should have to remember throughout his life, because such a personality is. And engineering faculty, these other things, past many years, India in engineering has celebrated this important day. And it was known that little bit. But Engineers Day also, we are celebrating the Engineers Day. Engineering colleges are celebrating. Somewhere they are celebrating themselves only by like parties, etc. But it was not going into the public. I am very unfortunately, I wish to say, this was the root cause only by the colleges, not by the students. What is the essentiality of celebrating the Engineers Day is not for the students who are existing to inspire on the legendary engineer, but also this thing goes to the children's education, and inspiration should be given to the school level, from the school level. This is more important, but unfortunately this was not going on in India. No educational inspiration to the lower level. Only simple education, 10th class means 10th class. Intermediate means intermediate. Vocational means vocational. Occasional means occasional. That's the thing. So how, this is very essential, how our Prime Minister of India present, he has created one program, Man Ki Baat. With that, so many people are inspiring. At least he is creating a stage for the to give his message to certain things to the public. So that's why we are unable to do these things in the college level or the public level or whatever the possibility it will be. So this is a very good program in my opinion. And while coming to the history of this engineering, the first engineering college is Thomas Civil Engineering College, established in 1847. Then it was converted into the IIT Turkey, which is in the present Uttarakhand. And next another college, that is a civil engineering college, but another mechanical engineering college was established in the another IIT was built at that mechanical engineering in 1854. It was established in Pune. So that was the basic. Later on, so many engineering colleges came as per the essentiality. Then British India, and later also our present government of India. And mostly the engineering basic branches are in those days only three. One is civil, mechanical, and electrical. So these are the basic subjects. Every field is connected to the present day. As per the essentiality, what is happening is that every field is connected to engineering. Without engineering, there is no field at all. Maybe due to application or including the biosciences, bioengineering and architecture, and also this aeronautics and other. Next is the even political thought is greatly linked with engineering. So without being a mind of engineering, even statistics can't be survived. The thought of engineering is very essential for this purpose. So we know the certain peoples are, even political parties are inviting certain people for their winning purpose by giving more money. So he is having such people are having the statistical and political and also engineering thought. The success of education not in the form of certificate, that should be realized by everyone in India. Only simple mere certificates, how it is possible. So education is very essential. Application and thought on education further. Application of the education, application of the education, thought and application of education. So there is a circular activity should be created. And so later on 1970, there are electrical was divided into several branches further, like electronics to do the ECE, and also communication engineering, and also this computer sciences, etc., etc. So 80 onwards, there is the greatest development in engineering. Nothing but the revolution. It is nothing but the revolution due to the information technology. So that information technology has completely converted the entire world to connect itself, every country to other country to share their knowledge and also to develop. But what it is developed, that is the secondary thing. And even we have gone to digitalization, and also currency transaction is also depends on this computer and also information technology and also digitalization. So created more and responsible. Only simply the development is not enough. It has created a greater responsibility on the engineer at anywhere in the world, but Indian engineering has a lot of responsibility. Because that is where the scientific development is there is the wrong things also will go, because cyber theft. And also this informations were blocked by the country to country, and there may be, if informational technological war may come in future also by hacking. So how to prevent it? How to cope up with this? These are the things which were put. But simply we are doing this robotics, etc. But this is more important, how to protect ourselves, how to protect our information, at the same time to develop ourselves If our information, already the Indian information in the form of books etc. was taken away by the so many people in the British tenure, and some was completely ruined by the like a vandalism. So this human hardship always to be respected and also rewarded. So engineering also will be rewarded like that in this India. And how we are celebrating this engineering day is not happy manner, because we have to see the statistical data. I don't want to go into the in-depth of the statistical data, but at the same time I want to present a few sentences regarding the status of the engineers present in India. Though this 20 to 33% of engineers, that is nothing but the more than 1.5 million engineers in India pass outs every year. Even more than that. It is not a present figure, but one year later also. So it is a run into the risk of not getting a job. Means 20 to 30% of the engineering graduates are unable to get the job every year. Means this is a big task for the. So when the scientific and also the engineering, whatever it may be, a scientific sense was not properly guided and not properly under the proper way, definitely it will be perverted minds will come into the society. They were the culprits. They may be Naxalists, they may be encourage the Naxalism, they may be the next to this terrorism, whatever not. So this should be kept in our mind and society. That's why that the input and output mechanism should be properly organized. Then only the things will be go in a better way. That will be useful for the not only the public but also the India country's development. And the education system not up to the mark, and the very good All India Council of Technical Education has come into that to synchronize all the engineering education, etc. But it has, in my opinion, more or less it has been failed. I know it. So those who are working in that particular arena well known these facts more than me. Because how many calls are going in the right direction, right education? They are not. How this all the engineering faculties are happy in private sector? No. Why? So if the faculty was not happy, definitely how they will give best to the students? This nobody has think about these things. It is a very pathetic thing on what's going on. Education, curriculum, etc. So the student, teacher or whatever the faculty member, the student, teacher, authority and management relationship should come in a healthy manner. Healthiest concern. So it was not in healthy manner at present situation. This was the root cause for the collapsibility and also the unemployment. And present theme of engineering day is one man's magic is another man's engineering. This is a very great. We have to think about one man's magic is another man's engineering. This is rightly said. Present situation in this in India, the engineering was like that. So if you take this, I will call an engineer is a self-ignitor. He is a self-ignitor. But hardest for him is lack of communication and language with subject and application. Communication means it means not the communication skills. The basic skill of the communication was not in this community, only the certain aspect of the community. And subject to application. And objectivity is more than the subjectivity. Objectivity crosses the subjectivity, then the profession will be collapsed. And lack of connectivity between industry and education. These are the major three directions were not properly organized in India. Unfortunately, the students of IITs also in a bad position. In several times, the IIT people were, some students were, is very psychic nature. We have to think about them. with greater aspiration, greater inspiration and greater thought they are joining in the IITs. At the same time, they are at a psychic level, they are depressing. So why? Because it is a satisfactory, the 15 to 20% of IIT graduates are not getting the jobs. It's not a 15 to 20%, it's definitely it is high. So human cause is very less, it's less than 5%, but the remaining cause is the society, or the education, or the thought of the people, or the thought of the government. So our Prime Minister calls for engineers for a self-reliant India. So our government has announced a self-reliant India. So for the engineering also has to cooperate for that. But Indian education is not up to the mark because of lack of communication. How many times if I wrote, nobody, even from student side, they are not think about their education. Even the colleges also never think about their education. Only the wants to join the students as far as possible, and there is a unhealthy nature in between the college and colleges. That is one of the root cause. One of the root cause. What we cannot escape these things. On the other hand, everyone is interested in job, but lack of education with the communication skill for the self-development tends to be low, very low. With self-development, only we are thinking about the job. No doubt, job is one of the factors, but the government and also private sector cannot create the jobs for 100% students for them. So self-reliant, how far we are useful to this country, or how far we will use for the situation, and how far we are reliant on ourselves. This should be think, and such a nature will be developed in the colleges and also by parents. Finally, no proper link between the industry, already I told that one, and they are never moved towards the appropriate solution for the young citizen of India. This is our responsibility. Every citizen who are existed in the government and the private sector, not only the engineers, but also if one kind of subject, maybe engineering, maybe something X, Y, Z. If one X is collapsed, the Y also collapses, because there is literally there is a relation between this subject and other subject. Think properly for the removal of the hurdles. I don't think, hope so. Indian engineers like to solve, but others are not to be. This was the statement I am going to give, because Indian engineers like to solve the problems, but others are not to be. Others are not to be. Who are the others? You can think. Even every engineering graduate may think. So once again, my great tributes to Moksha Visveswarayya and the legendary citizen of India, and my contributions and namaskarams to all engineers and employees, graduates and children at present existing and forthcoming engineering graduates, and my hearty congratulations to them. Try to understand my grievances. I am not thinking to criticize the engineers today, but the status of engineers should be elevated at proper level. That's I want. Jai Bharat, Jai Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.